guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Now, straight away, people are going to be like, "Whoa, this has come out of nowhere." And generally speaking, yeah, it has. I put out my post about 20 minutes ago, apologizing for not getting the calendar special out for you guys. And I generally am annoyed with myself for not being able to get that out. I do apologize. Generally speaking, I actually do apologize. But straight away I thought, you know what, let's snap something up. And just like that, the turnaround has been literally 20 minutes. So big up to Gio, 110%. If you haven't already, his link is in the description and in the thingy. So make sure to do that. Most definitely. Big up to him, without a doubt. And yeah, man, he's an absolute legend, bro. And I've sent him the link. He'll be hopping on in the next couple of minutes or so. But yeah, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button. Again, people, if anyone's out here saying this is random or anything like that, yeah, it generally is. But you know what? I thought let's get a calendar special out. Why not? I'm hella annoyed that I didn't get it out anyway. So yeah, man, let's run it. Let's absolutely run it. Like I said, smash up the likes, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you check out the Juve Corner Cast Juventus channel. Literally looking on there right now. He's doing a Mazzolini because realistically, from what I can see on the YouTube page myself, I started this a couple of months ago, I believe. So yeah, big up to him 100%. Let me go live. I nearly started. Okay. Oh no. Okay. So he started 4 months ago on the man. He's doing bits, doing absolute bits. But yeah, man, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button. I'm sure he's gonna be in here in a second. And similar to the wheel, the one we did with Football Carnage wheel, we'll be doing exactly the same here. I'm gonna just ask him about my team, his team, and hit him some quick fire questions, and then we'll go from there. Right, what link is that I'm sending? Okay, no, don't do that one. What's happening? Big up, man. How you doing? Man? Big up to you. I nearly sent out the wrong link. Let me grab this YouTube link. Copy. Let me put this in my chat. Bosch, and then put in that one as well. Bosch, there we go. Put it in there. Right, there we go. Right, it's all been pushed out. But how's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's having a good night. And if not, I hope it gets better. So yeah, man. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Don't need that. No, don't need that. Don't need that. Yo, what's good? Here he is. All right, we're going to bring him in straight away. Again, hit the link. It's on the app. Just click the link and go and subscribe. Here he is. Yo,
what's happening, Liam? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
I want to say straight away. Yeah. No, 100. Me too. I want to say straight away. Thank you for doing this on such short notice. Generally, it means a lot. I'm guessing you're in America, right?
Yes, I'm in Miami right now, Miami, Florida.
Yeah, wow. I'm thankful for you being in America, because if this was any other place, you probably would have told me to do one. Considering it's 1 o'clock here. But yeah, man. How are you you doing in, like, as a whole? Like, when did you start the channel as well?
In the summer, actually. Okay. Actually, I had in the summer, I had a little experience with a content creator. You probably know him, maybe. Just Juve. He's in the Juve community. So I had a little one-on-one with him. He was on his channel. He invited me, and I was like, you know what? From that moment on, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make myself on my own channel. I started from there, thinking of some names, and I was like, you know what? Why not Juve Corner? everything around Juventus, just talk about like one of my favorite clubs, and just vibe with it. And I just love the way that we did it. And you know it's really like it's been only like 4 months and we're already at almost 600 subscribers. So big thank you to everybody as well, always supporting, and I like supporting other content creators too, because I know how much how much time and effort we put into it, and how much time it takes, especially for to just bring all the content out for all of our viewers, and our audience, and it's perfect. I really love it. I love the communities, I love also us binding, just finding our common ground, and also, just like sharing this and like how we're doing as well.
100, man. 100. Like at the end of the day, thank you, Zia. Thank you. It is in the top anyway, but the link's there. If you're watching the live or if you're watching it back as well, there's the link. Go and subscribe. Generally speaking, you've got to see me on there. Whenever he wants me on there, I'll be on there. And do you like, this is just a real quick question. Do you watch the female team or you just men's team?
No, I mean, I do watch a little bit of the females team. Yeah, I do. Juventus mostly. I do remember you guys beating us, because I remember you guys 4-0. I watched that game. I do like to watch the women's, but sometimes it's usually like when I have time or when I don't. It depends. So but yeah, no, 100%. That's probably what we're gonna be doing as well, is just looking onto the women as well. Start making on content as well, because that's like perfect.
Yeah, no,
so I really love 100%.
That. Like the way I see it in general, mate, is why not do everything?
Exactly.
Before I've been told to stay in my lane, and why have a lane? You know what I mean? Let's do everything. Why not do everything? So yeah, big up to everyone that is coming in. Again, to everybody that is coming in, this wasn't planned. It generally wasn't. So big up to Gio. Again, you can see his link there. Go and subscribe. No spaces, obviously that's the way it's done. But yeah, how is your season going from your point of view, bro?
It's ups and downs. I mean, we see a lot of the fan base, of the Juventus right now. They're saying, oh, why is so many ties? Why aren't we winning consistently? Why are so many players getting injured? In my point of view, I say that we're doing a decent season. Look, we had like 10 injuries, Bremer, especially being out. He's one of the guys in the back, for us, going out against Leipzig. That's why I'm like, Leipzig, please Bayern win against Leipzig. But, no, like I said, I think we're doing a decent season. All we need is some guys to come back. I mean, we beat Coyote 4-0 the other day. We did a watch along on my channel, and it was amazing. Same thing. We beat City, even though they're not in good form right now. It's still always we still beat them. Especially they had Haaland, De Bruyne still. They had so many of these guys. So, and like I said, it's a decent season. We probably won't see the real Juventus till probably February. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season, because this is like a rotational, in my opinion, rotational season where new coach, new philosophy, because we went from a defensive style of football to now, offensive. So this is way different. Also, new players. There's like, I think from the summer it was like 8 new players, and like a lot of them just like left as well. Like Chiesa, for example, went to Liverpool. So and like I said, and also we haven't seen our top guys really showing their full potential, like Coop Miners. Douglas Luiz, that we've got from Aston Villa, big, huge one for 50 million. I expect way more, in my opinion, from him, especially coming from the Prem, so like I said, I think that we're probably not going to see this real team until February. But right now, I would say with 0 losses in the league, with the amount of injuries that we had, it's very impressive for Motta's first season at Juventus. And I'm really, really proud of that, and I like also how we're performing in the UCL. Like I said, 3 wins, I think 2 draws and 1 loss. I'll take that. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, 100%. To be honest with you, like, obviously this is the first time us meeting on the thing and so on and so forth. And obviously we're 9 minutes in or whatever. But I should have generally asked you straight away, why Juventus?
Oh, well. Juventus with my dad. My dad, a big Juventus fan.
Okay.
Since he was growing up, so that, and also from our family as well. And the funny thing was, my grandfather was an Inter fan. So it was funny how my dad
Wow.
actually liked Juventus. Yeah, so it was always like in the household, it was always like Inter, Juventus, and I was like, you know what, Juventus, the history, the colors. I loved the black and white. It's awesome, and just like the whole vibes and stuff like that. I just love it, and you know, I like it because my family as well. I'm a big Juventus fan. Also when I went to Italy, we saw how passionate the Juventus fans are. And it's just what like an experience, if you go to the Juventus Stadium, it's so I really love it.
Yeah, no, 100%. So have you been to the stadium then?
I have.
Well, was that like a jaw drop moment for you?
You have no idea. I'll tell you, the first time I went, no, like even seeing like going into the museum and seeing all the trophies, all the glory, and just learning about just everything. Even before the times of Del Piero, really, when you see players like Platini, a couple of these big stars at Juventus, Zidane, like I said, it's just like the history just got onto me as well from this Juventus club, and I was like, you know what, Juventus is like my team, it has to be. It's like it like struck my heart when I first saw it, when I first started watching, it just struck, especially when I really started watching was Del Piero's last seasons and stuff like that. So that's when I started watching, and no, I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah, no, 100. Just for context as well. He says, Juventus, please slap Inter. He works with his co-worker, shall I say, is a fan, and he's always going in on him. So that's why he hates Inter. It's not necessarily because he's a Juve fan. So yeah, like I said, bro made the right choice. But yeah, what is that stadium like? Obviously, you love the club. I get that. I can feel that. Like, but like, what was that like seeing it? Because I know when I seen the Allianz Arena, I went with my family, and they went on and walked on, and I was just stood there looking at it like, whoa.
Yeah, no, like when I walked on, because when you do the tour and stuff like that, you also walk on like the field. Like when I walked on, it was just like, wow, I'm stepping on basically where Cristiano Ronaldo stepped on, Del Piero, so many of these guys, and I was like, I couldn't believe it that I was actually there. And it was funny because when I was there, it was actually the summer that Ronaldo signed. It was so funny.
Wow.
So yeah, and no, I mean, like I said, it was such a good experience because it's just like you could feel the atmosphere as well. Like you could just see it, and it was wonderful as well. When we went to go see a game, it was awesome, and it was just wonderful to see. Also, you could just see and just feel like when you're on that field, you could see all the history. You could feel how passionate the Juventus fans are. You could also feel how big the club is, especially in Italy. One of the biggest clubs in Italy. Historically, so you could really feel that, and also the stadium, because I went to the San Siro. Oh my gosh, Juventus Stadium is so much nicer. And I was like, yeah, the funny thing was my mom, she's not a big football lover, but she does like Juventus because the stadium, like she's like, Juventus is like first class and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, wow. No, but this shows you that Juventus, in my opinion, is the biggest club in Italy by far because of how we are, the history that goes behind it, the players that played for the club, what it means, in Italian, it's fino alla fine, right? The motto, it's until the end. I love that, and that's what makes Juventus have a big identity when it comes to that. And that's why so many fans love Juventus.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm with you on that one. I am jealous though, because from what you've so you watched a game in the Juventus Stadium.
Yeah.
See, that's one thing I haven't done as a Bayern fan yet. Because when we went, it wasn't on at that point. I'm hoping to go in a couple of months, in April time, 25, for my birthday. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I've even told the missus, if it comes to it, I have to go on my own. Please, just I need like that. And I want to go back to Germany 100% because they've got it's typical, like a season after I go, they released a Gerd Muller statue. Like, I have to see that statue.
You have to see it. You have to see it.
Like yesterday, I don't want to ruin too much of my video that I got out coming tomorrow, but yesterday I seen the Henry statue, and even that, like, I have no ties to Thierry Henry at all. Like, I'm not French, not an Arsenal fan, none of that. But just seeing that statue and the way it was built and everything, it's just like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Generally, so yeah, I don't know. There might be some tears coming down my face when I see Gerd Muller. You know, and yes, I am a 26-year-old going on 27, and I will still be crying like a baby. So hey ho, it is what it is. I'm sure I'll film it and everyone will be laughing at me. But yeah, let's talk about Juventus though. We can get on to Bayern later if needs be. Big up Cole, how are you doing? And big up to is it Angel? Is that how you say that? I believe it's how you say that. Big up to you as well, man. Thank you so much for being in here. What are you thinking about Motta? Because for a long time, obviously, you had the other manager. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Allegri.
Allegri. And obviously, Allegri ball was like, you know,
disaster,
disaster class and everything. Yeah, no, 100. So, how are you personally feeling about Motta?
You know, when Motta, when I heard actually the rumors of Motta joining Juventus in the summer, I was like, he's our guy. Get him soon as you can. Like, do it. Like, this guy must, because I've seen what he's done with you know, a low budget squad like Bologna, and
yes,
he has a true identity on what he wants to play and what he wants to do on the pitch, especially with his teams. It didn't work out with his past, like Genoa, because you know, they're not as big as us, but it worked out with Bologna because he had the players, he had the commitment from the players as well, and they just knew what to do. And if you saw, you know, and a lot of the Juventus fans are criticizing him now, right? And you know, just from that as well. I mean, we look at Bologna from last season, and the year prior, they were doing basically what we're doing now. You know, It's a new coach, new philosophy, everything. You know, they had to learn, they had to build the chemistry with the players. Remember, a lot of new players as well, and they did it. The second season going into it, they qualified for Champions League, which I think is a big achievement. And also, they beat a lot of teams, like a lot of the big teams as well. Like they did beat Inter, I think, last season, like in the Coppa Italia or something like that. They won, they beat them, they knocked them out too. They beat Milan as well. They almost beat us as well. They were like, I think it was like 3-0 at halftime, and then we just had that sort of energy. But this was like when Allegri was sacked, and you know, when he was fired. But no, but I'm really happy that Thiago Motta has really really come to Juventus, because you know, he's really, I think, rejuvenated this Juventus squad, and it's really like, I'm really happy that we did get something fresh, because 3 years of Allegri, you know, 2.0 wasn't really good. Wasn't really good to digest, because you know, just I mean, at the beginning I was like, okay, I'm okay with it, like when he came back, you know, when Allegri came back. But you know, when you just see that it's like the same old tactics as like years before, you know, nothing new, then I'm like, we're not going to go anywhere unless probably maybe top 4, you know. And then we had so many things, you know, not qualifying for the Champions League, you know, the money situation, you know, the deductive points as well. That was bad, you know, bad times, you know. And then, you know, when COVID as well, you know, terrible, I think, for all the clubs, you know, and around the world, you know. And that also took, I think, a big toll, you know. And yeah, no, I mean, this is a fresh new Juventus. I really love it. You know, with Thiago Motta, new ideas, you could see it. Like, and what I like about Thiago Motta compared with Allegri is that Allegri, whenever he goes in front of the press, he's like always making up an excuse whenever he like loses or ties. Okay. You know, now with Motta, whenever he goes in front of the press, he actually admits that, okay, I made a mistake. Let's try again the next game, and I'll make it right. And guess what? We versed Cagliari this past week, and he did what the fans told him basically to do. Like I've been saying, to, you know, put Mbangu on the left, put Yildiz in the center, you know, put Coop Miners a little bit back, make him comfortable with the ball, and he actually did that. So I'm very, you know, like I said, it's going to take time under this Thiago Motta to really, you know, you really see the true Juventus, but it's going to be worth it in the long run, because I mean, we in the league right now, we actually have the second youngest squad in all of Italy. So we're building for the future, and I think it's going to be really good future for us, and also possibly be the present. I don't know yet, you know, especially if we win the Serie A somehow, you know, which can happen, because all it takes is a couple of teams to just lose points, and we have to just go on a winning streak, you know. So under Thiago Motta, I'm really happy where we are. Really happy.
Yeah, well, there we are. There we are. Because he was someone that we were looking at, or rumored. Obviously,
Yeah.
you never know if it's true or not, of course,
Yeah.
in football. But yeah, he was someone we were looking at. I didn't really know, like, if he, like, obviously Italian football, German football is totally different. You know. So yeah, no, I'm with you that. What is your opinion on your squad though? Because you did get rid of Chiesa. Were you happy with that? Like, I know that he's very injury prone, but were you happy or not? Because that price in itself is mad.
Yeah. You know, when I heard of Chiesa leaving, I was kind of hurt because I'm a big Chiesa, especially after what he did in the Euros. Won Italy. The Euro. I was a big fan of Chiesa, man. I was like the way that he also, showed his class at Juventus as well. When Ronaldo was there, when even the season after, he really showed that he was a top player. But then after that ACL, he really just took a big dip in terms of performances. He wasn't the same Chiesa as we all knew. And, he wanted more money from this Juventus. And, what I thought was, it hurts that that you're going to leave, but at some point, every player is going to have to leave, at some point. So even if they are the best player in the world, they're going to leave at some point. So, I just think that, yes, it hurts that Chiesa left, but I think it was also for the better, because we wouldn't have gotten probably Chico Conceição. That guy has been outstanding for us. We wouldn't have gotten Nico Gonzalez that scored a beautiful goal this week. So I think that this is also a good movement because, the terms of the financial situation at Juventus, this is good financially. And we're actually taking a low budget squad and let's build off that and stay united. And I think that's also working out.
Yeah. No. I get that 100%. Because you did spend, like you said, you mentioned it just a minute ago. You did spend a lot of money on, Costa. What are you thinking? I know that you just said, you're expecting more, but like, are you happy with him, or was it a waste? What do you think?
With the Douglas Luiz, I think
Costa?
I think you did say Costa. Yeah,
Luis.
Luis.
No. Bro, carry on, man.
Sorry. because I actually knew what you meant. I was like, oh, you said Costa, or it was like, okay, but no worries. No. I mean, Luis, I expected a lot more, especially coming from the Premier League. One of the best leagues in the world. I expect a lot more, especially for the price tag that we got him for. Do I think that we maybe made a mistake? Possibly. We haven't really seen the true Douglas Luiz yet, so I haven't really made a judge of it. So, but once I think he's back and ready to play and start playing consistently, and he's really starting to perform, I think that's when I could judge. I said in the beginning of the season, I said give him a full season and then let's judge at the end of the season to see if it was really a flop or not. And it's the same thing like with Locatelli. Locatelli, the same thing. When he came in, we expected a lot from him because we got him for, I think it was like around 40 million or 30 million around there. So I expected a lot from Locatelli as well, right? When he first came, he wasn't good, but now all of a sudden on Diego Motta, it's like he's a totally different player. So any players have their bad moments at clubs, and then they have their good moments. So that's why I say give Douglas Luiz time. If I was Juventus, I would have gone for Calafiori instead because he's already had that experience with Motta. That's what I think that we are missing right now is that type of player that has the experience with Motta already, and can, I would say translate to the other players what the tactics really are and how what the movements are. And I think Calafiori in the back, I think would have made a really good, solid defender, in Motta's tactics. I think also could have been a leader for this team as well. I think that's the one mistake I think that we did. But instead we went for Douglas Luiz for 50 million. So I'm like, okay, but look at how many midfielders we have now. We have McKennie, still we have Fagioli, we have Locatelli, we have Thuram, we have Coop Miners, we have already, I think, a suitable midfield already to be top, and adding Douglas Luiz, yes, I expected a lot, especially coming from the Premier League, but I still expect more. So, I mean, I'm going to give him a little bit of time, probably to the end of the season, and then I'm probably going to, reevaluate his performances and see if he was really a flop or not, and it's really going to determine, because I've heard a lot of good stuff from the Villa fans, Villa supporters,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about Douglas Luiz, and I watched him when he was playing at Brazil, the Copa America. He did pretty good, he was really good, except for when he missed that penalty, but we don't go there, but no, but he did outstanding, for them. In my eyes, I think he performed very well. But, I just haven't really seen that yet with Juventus. I don't know if it was because his condition wasn't good in the summer. He didn't have the full preseason as well. So that's why I'm like, give him more time. Give him the rest of the second half of the season. And let's see if we could really, turn up. And I think we will. I think we will at one point.
We will see. We will see 100%, won't we? What does this say? Calafiori to Juventus would have been better than him at Arsenal. The thing is, though, I obviously went to the Arsenal stadium yesterday. I went in with, obviously I was with Josh. I went into they call it the Armory. I don't know why, because they ain't got no guns in there. But hey ho. And he is poster boy, by the way. You would think, if for instance, if you were an Arsenal fan or going into that, you'd think it'd be Bukayo Saka. Generally. It's not. It's him. He's literally in, like, obviously, they take photos of where they're wearing the clothes and so on. He's all over it, which is mad. I like, obviously, annoying Josh, just to be a troll. And I'm like, look, Josh, look, Calamari's up there. And he's like, shut up, man. Yeah, just to annoy him, obviously. But yeah, no, he definitely would have done better for you guys. Obviously, number one, he would have been in the same league. And then, obviously, he would have worked under the same manager. So, let's see what happens. Yeah, can we not talk about this? Can we not talk about this here, man? I tried to skip this name. Like he mentioned it just Munich, and I didn't want to go there. Mad. Yeah. I guess we have to talk about Yildiz.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's just one of the superstars.
I would say I'm not going to go too far, but possibly the next Del Piero. The next Del Piero.
Wow.
He's been the way that I think when he came first in the team, and I saw him because I watched, like the U19, the next gen team, when he came, he was like on fire, this guy. And I was like, who is this kid? And, people were telling me he's Kenan Yildiz. And I was like, he's going to be a top player once he gets to the first team. I could just see it now. Once he gets that familiarity with the first team, he's really going to be a top player. And he's showing it, he's showing it even in Turkey, in Turkey. So, yeah, no, like I said, he's gonna be a big star coming in. Who knows? Possibly once the time comes, I think when he really is at his prime, possibly a Ballon d'Or contender, 100%. Because this kid is like, he's really, really good. Like the way that he controls the ball, the way that he just beats the defender as well. The way that he also can create chances. He's definitely up there. He's definitely going to be up there soon. Not yet, but he will. He will at one point. He's definitely been a very, very good, I would say, really good player for us, and also, representing the club as well. The way that he speaks about Juventus and about that his idol is Del Piero. Big up to him for sure. He's, like I said, he's going to be for the future and the present for the team, and I'm really happy to have him on Juventus for sure.
Thanks, yeah. Thanks, bro. Thanks for
no.
I was trying to get rid of it. 19 years old, playing on the left wing, where we now have the invisible man Sane. Great. You see what you've done, bro? Yeah, you fumbled. Yeah, Bayern, we definitely fumbled the bag there. 100%. But what? That's annoying. That's really annoying, to be fair. But yeah, man, like I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I'm Bayern through and through, so I only really watch Bayern. But I have seen clips, which you should never really do. But when people were talking about him, because me and the youth team don't really go along. So when Z is like, yeah, this Yildiz guy, Bayern let him go. I'm like, did we? So then I searched it up. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Obviously, the clips only showed the best bits, but still. You know what I mean? This guy could be balling out with Musiala and Olise right now. And instead we've got the invisible man. So, that is in what it is. What do you one of the players that was obviously under Motta last season, was amazing under Motta. Scored a good amount of goals in that league for Xerxes, right? Obviously, you've got Vlahovic in your team, so he's a gun man anyway, brilliant player. But what did you want Xerxes or not?
Oh, I would take him in a heartbeat. I would take him in a heartbeat, man, because like I said, before, we need somebody with that experience in that Bologna team that played Motta's style, because Motta's style is basically a more balanced. It's not going to be like that Pep Guardiola, tiki taka, but it's going to be, I think more balanced, and it's going to be a really ferocious Juve in the coming years. Like I said, this is going to be very, very well, especially when we go towards, being at our best, especially if we do end up winning something at the end of the season. I think it's also going to give us more confidence to do even better the next season. So, if we get Xerxes, I'm definitely going to be like, yes, because he's that type of multiplayer that we do need, especially what I think our whole team needs. He could create those chances, because the way that he played at Bologna was just outstanding. In my opinion, way better than he's doing at Man United now. But, I would really want to get Xerxes for sure, because he could really fit into this team, and also, in my opinion, fight for a spot with Vlahovic, because Vlahovic, I call him Vlaho Miss, because this guy has been always missing. He's been always missing, this guy. And if you guys go back and watch, I'm gonna play a clip when I do my podcast as well. Where he just completely skies it. And also, he was like an open goal, and he just like misses it. I'm like, what is this guy doing? And we were just reacting it on the watch along. It was just so bad from Vlahovic. I'm like, come on, Vlahovic. And I'm like, Vlaho miss. Vlaho miss strikes again. That's what we always say. But yeah, no, like I said, Xerxes could be that guy to really challenge Vlahovic for his starting spot, because Milik hasn't really been there. So we kind of had to, to be forced to start with Vlahovic every game. So, I think with a little bit of competition, who knows, maybe we'll get best out of both strikers.
So would you sell Vlahovic if you could?
I would say that I think he's going to leave anyway, so you might as well sell him when you have the best opportunity. And like I said, Arsenal, they're knocking on the door. PSG, they need a striker that's like can do something, right? They're going to be knocking on the door too. So, if you're gonna sell him, it's probably the best time to sell him would be the summer coming up. I think, listen, I like Vlahovic. I'm a big Vlahovic fan. I was, but just coming to now realize that, Vlahovic isn't that going to be that type of player like a Holland. He's not going to be that guy that could just, bang in all those goals, like 50 goals a season. I don't see it, because he doesn't have that type of characteristics when he plays. He doesn't have that, play style. He like when he gets like his hold up play, in my opinion, it's terrible. And we need a striker that can do at least decent hold up play, because if we can, how we're going to really create any chances, and we also need a striker that can finish. So, if I was Juventus, definitely at least try to sell him in the summer. If you can't, keep him, but make sure that he renews their contract, because we can't have like what we did with Chiesa, because that was just shambolic. It was really bad.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Lewis says I'd trade Sane for like a miss, bro. If that's the case, from what Gio was saying here, that is literally trading from one player that misses to the next. Let's not do this, yeah. And he doesn't want Sane either. Trust me.
Oh, man.
Definitely not. He is trash, the invisible man.
Yeah.
I don't want to read your other comment because you're saying about him being the second aunt. Yeah, we're not reading that. We're just going to skip straight past that. But on obviously Xerxes at Man United, so you're not going to get him now. Do you think, just deepen it now from what you're saying, if he does leave, do you think that you could be a big contender to get Gokares?
We could. It depends on how much money we get, especially from the competitions as well. From the FIFA Club World Cup as well. In the summer that's happening, right? The Champions League, how far we're gonna get, because I think if we go to the round of 16 and you go to the quarterfinals, there's like more money adds up. So if we get to at least the quarters, I'll be happy this season, because I think it's gonna give us a decent. Also, if we get to at least second place of the Serie A, I'll be happy too. That's why I thought that Juventus was going to finish, but we're going to see because I still believe that we are going to finish second. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. No, I get you. We got a comment here from Julian saying if you would sell Vlahovic and get Osimhen, would you like Osimhen?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would be happy with that, but you also have to remember, Julian, in order to get Osimhen, we're going to have to pay a lot of money towards Napoli, which I don't even want to do that, so, and I've been saying this for now ever since I started the channel. Let's stop dealing with these Italian clubs because, my gosh, the transfer market with these Italian clubs, and you probably have the same thing in the Bundesliga with other, German teams, especially RB Leipzig, it's always like something. And like what happened this summer with Coop, waiting to like the last 2 days of the transfer market was really bad. It was like, it's like, is Coop coming this day? Is Coop coming that day? It's like the whole summer. It's like about Coop. I'm like, can we move on now? Let's get him already. Let's just move on. But I mean, like I said, I would take Osimhen, but dealing with a Napoli, I don't know. Because they're going to be like 90 million. You pay 90 million now or 60 million. That's it. He's yours, But I'm like, why would you want to do that? You're basically funding all the, all of your rivals that are basically competition for you. So, I would try to obviously avoid that as much as we can. If there's no other option to get like a top striker, then of course, go ahead, get Osimhen, But like I said, I'm a big fan of Osimhen because I think he would work in this Juventus. I think he really would work. But it all depends also from our funds. It all depends on if we sell Vlahovic and if we sell a couple other players.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, I understand your point as well. And I think it's the same in every league. You'd rather sell abroad or buy abroad because, for instance, Napoli aren't going to want to sell to you guys because they're going to be like, we're not going to give Juventus one of the best strikers in the world to make them great again. Like, no.
Nope.
So yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. What's to say? The other guy we're linked with is Jonathan David on a free, but I don't think he's good enough to start. Yeah, we're linked with him as well as our second choice striker. I think on a free it'd be okay to get him either side. Obviously, I'll get your opinion in a second. But the thing is, for me, is I don't like always signing players on a free because they obviously then demand a lot of money, which then over the contract years, they're probably not going to be worth. So it's like, it's one of those where you don't have to pay, let's just say, Osimhen, for instance, you don't have to pay Napoli 90 million to 100 million. You have to pay the wages and the signing on fee and the bonuses for all of that. But yeah, it's one of those. What do you think about David?
No, I definitely like Jonathan David. I think that he's a really talented player, especially when you're playing for a team like Lyon and you're performing like he's doing now in the Champions League. Performing like that against us as well. Scoring against us too. Like I said, it's definitely gonna always I'm gonna remember the name David after that. So no, I mean also him also beating Real Madrid, even though they're not in good form, but they have all these superstars, so it's not an excuse. So I think Jonathan David is definitely a good player, good target. I think for Juventus, even though I see that he wouldn't really fit in our style of a play. He's more of a guy. He's more of a striker that would fit in like, for example, he would fit in a Napoli. He would fit in a Napoli team because of counter. He's like a counter-attacking type of striker. He's not like exactly. He wouldn't be. He would probably do very well at, like, for example, Arsenal. He could do well there. I don't see him doing that well with us because, he's not familiar with the offensive type of, I think, tactics. But listen, on a free, I'll take him, anytime, because I always think that, the players can prove, fans wrong. So, even though I don't really see it, there's always this possibility that he could come to Juventus because I heard that there's a lot of rumors with Thuram calling him, stuff like that. We're linked with him for the summer that we might just buy him in January. I heard about that as well because if something happens with Vlahovic in January, I'm not sure what's going to happen. But of course, him coming to Juventus would definitely be somebody to watch, definitely. But do I see him fitting in our tactics? Not really.
Yeah, no, I get you 100%. And I'm actually that I did a obviously I'm doing this calendar series at the moment where I'm just doing random videos just to switch it up because obviously I'm not bored of talking about Bayern, but you know when the board annoys me and then there's just another story about Leroy Sané signing a new deal, I don't really want to talk about it. If I'm being real, so yeah, like I'm obviously doing this, and obviously we're doing this now. Again, thank you for coming on. But yeah, one of the things I said, I was talking about building Bayern, and I was like, why don't Bayern go out there and just go, you know what, you're not going to get any money for him. You're going to have Juventus, you're going to have all of these teams, whoever they are, Premier League teams, Serie A teams, whatever, going in for this player. You're literally going to get no money for him. Why not take 15, 20 million now? Like, you're then cashing in on him. And I would actually go and do that right now. Even for Bayern, obviously the other player that I want is Van Dijk. I don't actually think that's going to happen, especially with Mohamed Salah being heavily linked out of the club. But yeah, like that is a player that you could do that, you know. And obviously it's the same with Jamal Musiala. Obviously there was a story today pushing out there that Premier League clubs are going to look to push to sign him on a free or for a lower price. Yeah, they must be crazy. I generally put it this way: I think there would actually be riots if we got rid of that player. And that's not me trying to even make a joke. I know I'm trying to be funny in that, but generally speaking, that he is the gem, like absolute gem. It's generally like you just did a heist and took the gem out of the bloody safe, you know. So yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen anyway. But yeah, he definitely is a player I would go and get as well. Lewis did speak about Lookman. What do you think about Lookman? Obviously, it's similar to the thing where they're going to want money out of you. Where it's like, all right, pay up then if you want us to make you better. But what do you actually think about him? Because I think he's good.
Oh no, I mean, like I said, he's definitely another player that's, I would say, really, really top level. I mean, you know what he's doing at Atalanta is definitely, like I said, it's good for them, especially because, you know, they did beat Leverkusen 3-0 last in the Europa League final. You know, he scored the hat trick, you know, so, you know, like I said, he's an incredible player. He's been also turning up the season, you know, and I think we also had the chance in the summer as well to get Lookman. It was either possibly both, but you know, like I said, Atalanta, they're gonna want at least 40 to 50 million, you know, and it's a lot. It's a lot because, you know, they don't like to, you know, down the price, you know, especially when it's Juventus. You know, if it's anybody else, they're like, okay, you know, 30 million, 40 million, you're good. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what they did with us with Coop, you know, I unless Lookman goes to like another club for like at least probably like a couple years and, you know, and possibly doesn't do as well, maybe he'll be on Juventus radar. Who knows? You know, but yeah, no, Lookman for sure has been very impressive this season. Now, like I said, and for this season, I wouldn't even be surprised if Atalanta win the Scudetto. You know, that they win the Serie A, because the way that they are playing, it's scary. It's scary. It's reminding me of you know, how when Napoli's in what was it, 2023? I think Napoli, when they won their Scudetto, they're reminding me of how they played, you know, and they reminded me how, you know, they're beating teams like 6-1, you know, they're beating teams like left and right, you know, beating, for example, Napoli 3-0 away. That's tough. That's tough, you know, and for Atalanta to do that, you know, props to them. But, you know, they are looking scary. So I'm going to, like I said, let's see what happens in the end, you know, but definitely Lookman is going to be that guy to lead them for that Scudetto, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. And it's very tight, isn't it? In Serie A at the moment. Obviously, at this moment in time, I'm gonna ask you in a minute about you guys again in a second. But yeah, Atlanta, obviously 37, Napoli 35, Inter 34. Then you've got two teams on being Fiorentina and Lazio on the same points of 31. You guys aren't actually that far behind. What, you're 9 points behind, which isn't too much really. So yeah, it's crazy. One thing I did want to ask you though, is obviously you're sitting in at 6th, which you definitely don't want to be in. I could I can't speak English. Come on, Liam, get some words together. Without even asking you the question of, are you happy? I know you're not going to be happy to be in that position. I get it. We all want to win things, especially with the level of Juve, Bayern, and so on. But you haven't lost yet. Like, I know that there's Haller draws, and you spoke about that earlier on the show. But like, what do you make of that? Because you still haven't lost. Like, look, I'm looking at it right now. You're the only team that hasn't lost. There's Inter that's only lost one time. But yeah, what were you thinking?
No, I mean, I think it's a good achievement, especially under Motto's first season. Not even losing at halfway of the season. That's pretty remarkable. And the way that we have been playing, even with the injuries too. I hate to always say that the injuries always make an excuse, but look, we had 10 players out against Aston Villa. We actually managed to tie, even though they did score that one goal at like the last minute, but it was ruled off, so it's still a tie. Even though, in my opinion, I was criticizing the players because I was criticizing that it should have been a loss. But losing in the league, we haven't really seen that yet. And it's pretty crazy to say that, from this Juventus that has, like, we haven't really seen the full potential yet, is not even losing. So that's why I'm like saying that, if our players come back, and then remember, the market's about to start soon for the transfer market. So if we also reinforce ourselves as well, watch out for all the other Serie A teams. Watch out. Even I think in the Champions League too, watch out for Juventus, because one thing about Juventus in the Serie A, even in a little bit in Champions League as well, we always put up a fight, especially in the Champions League against big teams. I would say we always tend to at least put up a fight, and everybody knows our motto of Julian, winning our motto, fino alla fine, which means until the end, right? It's always going to be, Juventus is always going to be in the title race until the end every single season. So it's the same thing like Bayern. Bayern's always going to be in the title talks every single season for the Bundesliga, right?
Yes.
And like I said, with it's pretty impressive how Motta's managing to at least tie games or even win with not even a full squad, or not even even if you had your top players, right? They're not even really performing at their top level yet. So that's why I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. And I always say leagues are like a marathon. You start bad, okay, but you could always pick yourself up at any time, and all you just need is those guys like Atalanta, Napoli, Inter to just slip up in one of like a couple games, and then we're back on them, and then we're gaining on them, and then they're done. That's all it takes, especially with Inter, in my opinion, is not as strong as they were last season. They're not, they're very they're conceding a lot of goals this season. Even though I think that they're still a big top team, even though I hate to say that, but they're always going to be there right now. Milan is I think they're not going to be challenging for the Scudetto. I think Atalanta is going to be there, and Napoli will be there for sure because of the Conte effect. Conte knows how to win titles. It's just in him, and the way that he's done it already, being at least competitive, it's pretty impressive. But now you also see Napoli's also getting injuries like Buongiorno, the guy, the defender. He just got an injury. He was one of the best defenders that Napoli had. Now I want to see them continually, go against other teams, and let's see what's going to happen with that. And same thing with Atalanta. Atalanta is known for doing very good for the first part of the season, and then once it comes like after Christmas, towards January, they slip up and they start losing lots amount of games. That's basically the history of Atalanta, and like I said, when it comes like to the final end of things, it's like I would say it. Atalanta are the bottle jobs because they always, in my opinion, they always have that, they always have that spark to just maybe they could win it, But it's always the case that they just bottle at the end, I think the only team that, in my opinion, none of the other teams have really impressed me as much, to win the Serie A. It's still up for grabs, in my opinion. It's still up for grabs because it's really not that type of team that's very concrete. Atalanta, yeah, but you already know that they could lose. They could lose. They've already lost games this season. Real Madrid is one of them. They lost against who who else they lost against Inter 4-0. They lost against a couple other teams. So they are winnable. We can win against them, and I think we will. Like I said, once I think all it takes is for Juventus to click, and we are right in the back in the title race. That's all I think. And let's see what's going to happen. So,
when is is it Bremer? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Bremer.
Yeah. When's he going to be back?
Well, he actually during the Leipzig game ACL injury, so he won't.
Wow.
Yeah, he's exactly. We haven't even had our full team, right? Our best defenders out, and we still haven't lost, which is pretty impressive, And that's what I'm saying is Thiago Motta definitely is going to be the guy, because to go forward and be, like I said, create a Juventus that could be scary, And I think he really will. I mean,
wow.
losing, and then now also losing Cabal as well. We have two players with ACLs, losing Cabal as well. He's been also, I think, a very good underrated player for us this season, coming from Hellas Verona. It's been, like I said, definitely do not count Juventus out of the race yet. You shouldn't ever do that, because even, one thing I've noticed is that whenever Juventus is always doubted and stuff like that in the title race, they always come back somehow. It's always happened. It happened under Allegri. Even under Allegri's third year, for example, we were fighting into the halfway season, and what happened? We took a dip, and then we lost the Scudetto. Same thing with the past seasons. But we're always in that conversation of we could win it, because of how we are. And like I said, with this team, you could see that we have an identity of what we want to do. We have that, I would say those players, the individual players, like a Yildiz, like a Nico Gonzalez, like a Vlahovic, on his day, like a Vlahovic on his day, a Conceição that has been remarkable. Coop Miner's starting to score now. He scored a beautiful free kick. So, like I said, this Juventus, do not write them out yet, especially the way that we are right now. I'd rather us screw up in the beginning of the season, or midway point, than screw up last minute like Arsenal. Sorry Josh, if you're in the chat, but like Arsenal for like 2 seasons in a row, bottling it last second. That would be, listen, if we were doing well for the whole season and then we lose at last second, that would bother me for like ever. That would bother me forever. So that's why I'm like, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's all right, bro. You don't need to apologize to Josh. He knows that his team's a bottle job. He knows. I've been telling him. I was taking the piss out of him yesterday, because I was like, obviously all of the top gooners, as they're called, they always go on about is yours gold and all of that, because they want the undefeated and whatever invincible thing. So yesterday, the whole vlog, I was like, is yours gold? Just annoying. Yeah, I'm surprised he's even speaking to me, and how annoying it is. But yeah, it is what it is. So on obviously, Julian has put in that we need centre backs and full backs. Do you think that's will like board wise and club wise and so on? Do you think they're going to invest in January?
Oh, 100%. I think we have to. We must, because going into the second part of the season with we can't really rely on Milik. That he is going to come back towards, I think, at the end of December, so he'll be back against Fiorentina, I think. But like I said, we can't rely on Milik. And also we can't also rely on Vlahovic, because what if he doesn't turn up? And then we're vulnerable. And exactly, and we can't, like I said, we need somebody like a Xerxes that I think can come on and bring that impact, that already knows about the system, that could bring that impact into the team and bring that like a little bit of adrenaline. If we could have that, perfect. And we're definitely going to invest in the back. Definitely, we need guys to fill in for, and already supposedly we already have a couple of agreements with Antonio Silva from Benfica, 21 years old, very young, plays with Benfica, of course, and supposedly he's done very well out there. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that. Also, the guy from Feyenoord, supposedly he's already said yes to Juventus. Is up to Juventus and Feyenoord to get a deal done. Is David Hanko, I think his name is. Yeah, David Hanko. Yeah. So I think, like I said, if we could get at least a fullback and a center back and possibly a striker, I think we'll be okay.
Bruh, I was not expecting you to say Antonio Silva. You do not understand how long I've been calling for Bayern to sign him. Like, he's 21. Yes, he's really young, but like,
No, I think he's already. I think it's already like in the bag. I think it's gonna be like watch when you see done January, it's probably gonna be a done deal because supposedly the deal is actually similar to the Conceição deal. It's gonna be a loan with an obligation, so similar to it. So I'm like, there's no way that Juventus is gonna get Antonio Silva on a loan with an obligation, and probably sign David Hanko too, which has I think been also impressive with Feyenoord as well. So like I said, and Silva does have that UCL experience, that winning experience as well. So it's always good to have a winner as well coming into the team.
well, why is my team always ass? Like, come on, man. Like, I've been calling for Anasio from Sporting Lisbon, I think. That's where he plays, pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then I've been calling for him. Like, it's always Premier League. Like, we have Eric Dyer at our club. Like, see, the fact that you're laughing, you know exactly my point. Like,
I know. No, I mean, when you guys signed Eric Dyer, I was like, why would you sign Eric Dyer? Like, why? That makes no sense. You're signing him from Tottenham. Please don't sign any Tottenham players. In my opinion, don't sign any of them. maybe Human Song, but that's it.
This is why, bro. This guy.
Oh man, this guy. Oh my gosh.
Man, like Thomas Tuchel. Ugh, idiot, absolute idiot. So yeah, man, he probably obviously I can't say that he's going to work. I don't think you will even say it yourself that he's going to work because you have to see it. But wow, man, wow. What do you think about just straight off topic, thinking about centre backs? What do you think about Jonathan Tah? Because you guys haven't been linked with him, but that's a player that's got another player that could go on a free.
Yeah.
Would you go for him or not?
I was thinking about it because we were linked to him. I think even in the summer. Yeah, we were as well.
Okay.
It was Bayern and Juventus. I think that we were linked with Jonathan Tah. Doing a season like he did with Leverkusen. Undefeated in the league. Almost the entire season undefeated as well. It's a big achievement. Definitely already brings in that experience that Juventus does need, in my opinion, because we are the second youngest squad in the league, in our league, and I think we are one of the youngest squads in Europe as well. So that, like I said, definitely, I would also take Jonathan Tah, even though I'm like, but I think with Juventus under Thiago Motta, especially defensively, how we are, and defensively, we all know how Juventus, when they play Italian clubs, it's like always Catenaccio, which is like a defensive mind, always. Yeah. It's always going to be in the history, right? So, I think under a manager like Thiago Motta, I think he would also fit there very well, especially because he played under a similar type of style under Xabi Alonso. So definitely, I think he would fit into Thiago Motta's group and also bring that experience. So if we do end up signing him, I would be like, okay, I think we could go with it, see how it goes. If he's not up to par, then what can I say? But but 100% I would go for him as well. If you have a chance to do it because we need that experience. We need that experience. We have a lot of young players. We need somebody that could be like the captain of the team because we don't really have that. Because since Bremer's gone, Bremer was most likely the general in the back. He's one of the oldest guys there. So, for sure, Jonathan Tah would have been good for, I would say, experience and knowing how to lead a team. So, 100%.
What's your opinion on Szczesny leaving on a free?
It was bound to happen. Okay. When we signed Di Gregorio from Monza, which has been spectacular, the saves that he's been doing for us this season, and just like the clean sheets as well, it's just been like, wow. It's like when I saw him also play at Monza, I knew that he was going to be a special goalkeeper if he does come to Juventus, and he did. So I was like, you know what? It is going to be time for when Szczesny, is going to have to leave the club. And, listen, going on a free, it is what it is. Players come and go. But Yeah, no, I mean, I was a big fan of Chesney, but then, especially I remember some things from the past as well that he did a lot of mistakes,
Yeah.
especially a lot of bad ones. So, I was like, okay, thank you for basically, being loyal to us and serving us as well, for a lot of years. I think it was like 7 years or 8 years around there. So he served this part, and he's going to be a legend for sure. And yeah, no, 100%. Let's see if he. I don't think he's even played a game for Barcelona yet. So
That was my after you landed your point. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like they signed him as a backup, obviously to Stegen getting injured and everything. But like a young Peña's literally took that spot by the horns and was like, Chesney, you're an old man. Sit on the bench.
yep.
So yeah, that in itself is actually nuts when you deep that. To be fair, we're abusing the loan system. Yeah, you will be if you get him 100%. And this is the thing, like why this has been my thing. Obviously, you know that Bayern Munich isn't a money club. Obviously, we have money, but 50+1 and all of that. Obviously, we don't have a massive brand behind us and all of that. But like, I never understood why we don't buy players and loan them. Like, for instance, you need a centre back, yeah? Why don't we go and get a centre back, young one, like Antonio Silva, for instance, and say, Juventus, do us a favour, play him. You are in, I don't want to say turmoil because obviously you're not, but you're in like that point where you're like, we desperately need a centre back. We need
100%.
that depth in there because of the injury, the ACL injury. That would help us. You know what I mean? You're giving him experience playing for a big club with, obviously, again, like you just mentioned it, big fan base. The fans are going to be behind the players that you get, obviously. Like, I never understood why we don't do that. And obviously, Chelsea are like a team that do stuff like that. Courtois, obviously, being one of the main ones. Obviously, he's now a Judas there because he left, obviously, them to go to Real when they needed him. But, like, I've never understood why we don't do that. Like, Neuer is eventually going to retire. People already think he's finished. Whatever, that is what it is. But, like, we're going to be with Alexander Nubel. No, thank you. Like, but he may as well be the invisible man as well. Because the amount of balls that he's going to let in, no, did he? I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah.
But, like, the amount of shots and so on, it's oh, yeah. Obviously, it'll be similar with you, obviously, with Chesney. No one is going to replace Buffon. Like, when Buffon eventually, obviously, he didn't retire straight away, he went back to his former club. But, like, in general, no one is ever going to replace him. Just like no one's going to replace Casillas, no one's going to replace Neuer, so on. They are the stable points, but we're not asking for that. I feel like obviously I've only been speaking to you for an hour, but as a whole, like I can tell straight away. But that's us fans. We're not asking for you to go and replace them because they are there. They are the stable. They are the icon already.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why not get a Madishvili and then go and loan him to a club that need him? Or a centre back, like I said. It just makes no sense for me. And you would be abusing the loan system. Why not? You have to pay later. You know what I mean? Like,
you might as well. And also, even if you have to pay later, it's I think always the better solution because like I said, you will get the funds at the end of the season anyway. So,
exactly.
And it's gonna be always I think a better option. That's why I think that also not just from the coaching right but you also see the new Juventus management when in terms of the financial situations with our new sporting director Cristiano Giuntoli, and his right hand guy Giuseppe Pompilio, which is he's helping with that as well. Giuntoli for us I think has been remarkable since joining Juventus in terms of getting players with low salaries, making sure that everybody has a low salary, under certain, so we could have that big budget to spend on players or even get like a loan, for example, with an obligation. So I think that's always the case. And what I like about doing a loan is that we're always doing a loan, so then if a player like, for example, Douglas Luiz doesn't work out, he'll go right back to his club, and we'll reinvest in somewhere else, So that's why I think I like that what we're doing. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I'm not sure why Bayern doesn't do that. They should do it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
You guys should do it, and same thing I think with your youth sector. I think you guys need to reevaluate and do more with that as well, because you guys missed out on Yildiz, and like I said, for example, with us, Kingsley Coman, when he came to Juventus, he was young. In my opinion, big mistake letting him go, and like I said, and he was one of the, in my opinion, for you guys, he's been a really solid player for you guys for many seasons, especially he actually scored a goal in the 2020 UCL for you guys against PSG, so yeah, I mean, like I said, if you guys, I think, do that, I think what the big problem with Bayern, I think, has to be the management, maybe the sporting director.
Yeah.
That part of Bayern, I think that's what you guys, I think, need to be reevaluating. Get somebody that, already understands what the club really means, And if you guys can do that, get a good sporting director like Juventus did, getting Cristiano Giuntoli, I think, was a smart move. I think you guys would be in good hands for the future, And it's probably for you, if you're saying it right now, if there's probably question marks about company, always going to be question marks, because, what you did with what's the team that he was with?
Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley. He didn't do as well. So there's always, and he's a new coach, new experience. So like I said, I hope that he does well for you guys. Because I do like Bayern a lot. And when it comes to Bundesliga, Bayern's going to be the top team I always support. So. Because, for example, when you guys won like 11 in a row consecutively, we were winning 9 in a row. So it was always fun to like always see that. And it was always, like I said, Bayern, Juventus, we're the top dogs, when it comes to our league. So, like I said, if you guys, I think, fix the situation with the management and possibly the owners too, I think you guys could do very well as well for the future.
Yeah, it's just, they just have to use their brain. You know what I mean? Me and you were speaking about it, and like, I'm not too sure if you've got a coaching badge, because Max Herbal says that you can't speak out unless you've got a coaching license. But at the end of the day, if you can see it, as a young man, I can see it. Like, surely they should be able to see it. They're the professionals,
Yeah.
So dumb. It makes no sense. On Bayern, though, as obviously, obviously, I know you said that Bayern is your like team in that sense, but like, as an outsider, what do you think? Because I spoke to some German fans yesterday that come over to watch the women's game, and they are happy with company. Now, I was quite shocked, because I know that, obviously, it's going to sound mad, but I know that the Germans can be quite aggressive, with it, and be like, what the fuck is going on? We're not winning, But yeah, no, generally the guy was sound. I'm not trying to diss the guy that I spoke to, but like, yeah, he was like, yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. I'm like, really? Like, really?
No, I mean, no, I mean, what I think about Bayern this season with Company coming in, I was kind of shocked when I saw Company coming in as manager, because I'm like, really, Bayern getting Company? Like, that makes no sense in my opinion,
Yeah.
Because as you see with when Juventus got Motta, right? I mean, that kind of makes sense because of how well he did. He kind of already proven himself. Now with Company, we haven't really seen the proven yet, so that's why it kind of, in my opinion, made no sense. Is he doing okay this season? He's doing okay, because right now he's in first place. But remember, it's not even over yet, because Leverkusen's like, what, four points off, I think.
Yes.
So, like I said, and in the Champions League, you guys, in my opinion, should be way, way above, because you guys are Bayern. You guys are always in the Champions League talks, and and I think that the turning point, I think, for you guys should have been that Barcelona game, losing like that in that fashion, because when I was watching, because I watched the game, and I'm just like analyzing Company's tactics and how he does things and how he runs things. I'm like, why are you playing a high line against a Barcelona that all they need is, like, under Hansi Flick, is like 1 or 2 touches, and then they're already, on a 1v1, which happened many times during the game, and you guys have a lot of fast guys. For example, Musiala, like I said, and even though, Sane, he's pretty quick, but, he's always the guy that's the invisible man. So,
Yes.
he doesn't come up, so But like I said, you guys have Kingsley Coman, you have Harry Kane, you guys have good players. You have Kim Min-jae that you guys signed from Napoli, which I think that's a good signing. Good signing. The thing is company going to be the guy to lead you guys to another Bundesliga, to another Champions League? Maybe not a Champions League this season. I don't really see it yet because I haven't really seen that spark. Because right away when you you could tell, for example, when Motta did his second Champions League with Juventus against Leipzig, a lot of people are saying Leipzig is going to beat Juventus, this and that. Motta this, Motta that. The way that we won against Leipzig, 2 ACLs in the same match, and plus a red card, plus we were goal down and we still won it, that shows that there is a clear identity, there's a clear view on how we are and how the real Juventus is. And we've seen the flashes. With Bayern, I'm not so sure if we've really seen those flashes yet, because like I said, after that Barcelona game, it's like you're back to ground zero. And I think, like I said, you guys definitely, I think, need to reevaluate on if company is going to be the guy, especially in the next coming games. If somehow Leverkusen takes over first spot, I think company, a lot of the Bayern fans are going to turn on company. You're going to see, probably, because it's like I said, it all depends. And I think you guys are out of the cup as well, the German Cup. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
you guys are already out.
In December, bro. In December.
That's what I'm saying. You guys, like I said, you guys would have felt that spark already. You guys would have already seen that, okay, we could see it, how we could really manage to win, And like I said, it all depends on, it all depends on the management at this point, And like I said, to get another coach, I don't see it yet, because who are you guys going to get? You're not going to get Ten Hag. If you guys do, that's a big mistake. I like I said, if you guys do end up, getting rid of company, like, who are you going to get now? You guys missed out on a lot of coaches in the summer. Who are you going to get now? In my opinion, would have fit well with you guys would have been most likely Conte. Conte would have really made you guys solid. Maybe I think he would have won you guys the league because of just how he is, that winning type of coach. He wants the best. And I think with a coach like that, definitely, I think he could really manage to get you guys back to where you belong. Yeah, especially after last season, But
yeah, like, it's got to go from having mega mind to Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, let's not do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's not do that. Company's not ready for a club at the level of Exactly, Julian. Exactly. Similar to your name, mate. Julian Nagelsmann is the guy I would go for.
I don't understand that. I really don't, because he was doing so well at Bayern. The way that you guys were playing, you guys, in my opinion, were scary when
he didn't even concede a goal in the Champions League. How can you sack someone that, like? Yeah. And we were playing big teams as well. Pretty sure we beat Barca, we beat PSG in the state. Like, it's just been a downhill ever since, man.
And he did it right. And he did it right before the Manchester City. I'm telling you right now, if Nagelsmann was still the coach, I think he would have beat Manchester City. I'm not even joking, because it just bothers me that that's the management's fault right there. That's a big red flag. Especially when the coach was doing very well, Nagelsmann. You guys doing really well. Like I said, in the UCL against a team like Manchester City, you're going, especially Manchester City at that time, you guys need to have that same coach that already has, and then not just that, but sacking him a week before that game, that was a red flag from the beginning, So, but I've been saying this, I've been saying that, for the longest time, that Nagelsmann should have been the Bayern manager. It should still be the Bayern manager, I think, to this day. And that's why I say that the management for you guys has been a disaster when it comes to picking the right coaches. You go from Nagelsmann to Tuchel. What is that? It's like it's in my opinion, Tuchel is that kind of guy that, yes, in my opinion, he does well. he does well, and yes, he did well with Dortmund at one point, but I
Yes.
think that he's more of that kind of Prem coach. He was more of a Chelsea coach. We could see,
Yeah.
we saw that, and I would say the same thing. Chelsea, in my opinion, made a disaster, sacking Tuchel, because he brought them the Champions League, and like I said, doing that, it's not good. But I just think that for you guys, Nagelsmann should be the first option. If you guys are going to sack company, Nagelsmann, you have to get him. You have to get him. You have to get Nagelsmann because he made you guys shine. He really did. And I believe that if he was still here, this Bayern team would be on a whole different another level for sure. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100. Big up, bro. Big up. I know you come from Josh's channel, so big up, bro. Hopefully you're all doing well. I just don't get it, to be honest with you. If I'm honest, I just don't understand. Just from everything, like everything. Yeah. It's like obviously our team has obviously the players, then they have the manager, then on top of the manager they have the board, which is normal, and then obviously our club has a supervisory board that has to then say yes to everything the board says. So it's kind of like you have to go through your brother, then your brother asks your dad, then your dad has to ask your mum. Like it's one of those. It's really annoying, to be quite honest. But yeah, they bottled it, and we've been terrible ever since. Yeah, cool. We won the league with Jamal Musiala scoring the goal in the last day. But realistically, that was Dortmund bottling it. Like even if they get a draw, I think they. Yeah, because we were on the same points, weren't we? So, and we won by goal difference. So even a draw gets them the title. Like, cool, we won 11 in a row. That's perfect. Don't get it twisted. I'm never going to be sad to or angry to win a title. Of course not. But like that in itself it's just not the case. Bayern should be the creme de la creme. They really should,
100%.
And we're being. I generally feel like we're being used as a commercial club right now. It's not the fact that we've got Stan Kroenke taking money out the club to do this and that, or like the Glazers do with their taking 40% of the money and so on. But like, what are they doing with it then? Like, I understand that Bayern Munich as a whole, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that certain money goes towards the women's team. I don't know how much the women on their own would make in competitions and all that. I'm really not sure. Like the basketball team, I think Bayern Leverkusen, Bayern Munich as a whole collectively gets all of the money in, and then they go from there. But yeah, I don't know. It's so random. It makes no sense. Because like 11 in a row. You that's legacy. You can't be terrible and get 11 in a row. You know what I mean? Like, and then we did that, and ever since, I generally believe, I said it earlier, I believe we hit the pinnacle and we peaked when we won the sextuple, all of those trophies in 1 year, and then ever since it's been like, yeah, we've completed that game. We're now on the credits. I'm waiting to get off that credits to go play the game again. It's so dumb. But why do people call Bayern? That come from back in the day, where basically we were terrible for ages, and then loads of like drama and so on. So then they started calling it FC Hollywood, because obviously if you deep Hollywood, obviously that's dramas, the series is the movies, so on. So yeah, that's why. So yeah, that just is what it is. What does it say? Bayern and Milan are in a similar situation, poor club management. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's just sad as a Bayern fan, to be honest. Obviously, I'm of course passionate about the club. I love the club. Even being someone, and you'll get this most definitely. I'm not really too sure of your roots, of course, but like obviously you living in America. Obviously the club being Italian. So on and so forth. Obviously, that's the same with me, with the fact that obviously you've got the tie from your dad. But in general, you're an American that supports an Italian team. Obviously, I'm not being a dick in general, though. It's one of those. So it just makes it's just so annoying. And obviously I'm gonna be passionate. Obviously, I'm very blunt to the point. If you've watched any of my content, you just you get it straight away.
Yeah.
I'm not here to wrap around the bush. Just keep going around in a circle.
You get right to the point. Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
So yeah, it's one of those. But I did want to hit you with some quick fire questions.
Okay.
Quick fire questions. I can't speak. And I didn't want to take too much of your time. I know what I believe. I googled it a little bit ago. It's like 8-9 o'clock your time. Am I right by saying?
Yeah, no, it's okay for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100. What's that say? He's they're talking to each other in the chat. Is there anything you want to talk about? I know that obviously I've invited you on my channel, but if there is anything, bro, you just go ahead.
No, I mean on my channel, let's talk about our channels, like how we both started. For example, my channel, I didn't expect a lot, especially for where I am now. I was like, wow, the way that the community is now growing, and everybody, I'm getting along with a lot of fans, a lot of content creators like yourself, Liam, and it's been awesome. It's been really awesome because I just love talking about football in general, because it's just like wow, and I just love doing it. I love talking about it. I love just experiencing all the different fan bases, all the different content creators as well, knowing them, because it's like doing this is like a big inspiration for people like my age, and also for example, I would say your channel is a big inspiration for my channel too, since it's a young channel, just got up and running, and like I said, I like to support as much content creators as I can, because I know or I would say different fan bases, except for mostly rival fans. It depends on who they are, but like I said, I like to do that because I just love to just talk about football, meet new people, and I'm a really nice guy when it comes to that. So I love also helping the channels out as well, getting some my community members and then just putting them to your channel, and like I said, it's been always a pleasure doing it, and like I said, for everybody in the chat, make sure to like everything of Liam's, man. Just go right now, like the stream, like everything, subscribe if you are new, and also come check out my channel if you guys want to. It's up to you, and big up to you as well, Liam. It's been always a pleasure, especially meeting new people, especially like you, passionate about your club. And it's also always nice to hear your view about Juventus, my club, and I also want to hear a little bit of what you think Juventus has done, and or so far, like what do you think that we need to work on, especially for the future, and like I said, I want to hear from you as well.
Yeah,
but yeah,
of course.
100%.
No, 100. It's it seems like you guys just fell off a mountain. Like again, like you said, 9 in a row. Like that in itself is mad. And then obviously we've spoken about Allegri. Obviously, you probably needed to sack him a couple seasons before you did. Obviously, things happen for a reason. Maybe you wouldn't now do that because of what's happening with Motta. And you maybe you wouldn't have got Motta if that was the case. Obviously, things happen for a reason, of course. But at that time, you weren't thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to touch my magical ball here. Let's just go through this pain. Obviously. So, yeah, no, I get that. But, yeah, man, Juventus have always been a team that I've liked. I'm not going to lie. I love your mascot. I know that this is so random. You could talk about Zidane. You could talk about Pogba. You could talk about Pirlo. You could talk about Chiellini, so on. But the zebra, man, is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why Man City have an alien, by the way. That in itself is a bit weird. But, like, that your mascot is cool. And I don't think you were expecting me to say that. But generally speaking, I don't know why. I don't know that, yeah, that in itself is just mad. Obviously, I get the horse and everything like that. But, like, yeah, that in itself is nuts. But, yeah, no, on your club as a whole, not the mascot. It's always been one of those clubs. You have had a player that I can't stand. Alvaro Morata. I cannot stand him. Yeah, shithouse of a player. But yeah, no, like I kind of wanted you to beat Barcelona all those years ago when you got to the final. And Pogba's there with his big old spiky hair and so on. Like, the thing is, with Champions League wise, Bayern are sitting in at 10th. You are 14th. So we are on 12. You are on 11. So you're only a point behind. Like, what games have you got left?
We have Bruges and Benfica,
which you should
win. We should win
both of them.
100%. We should. There's no excuse. I've been saying this right now. But by that time when we verse those teams, it'll be in the middle of January when we probably would have the reinforcements and also players back. So, it's up to them. There's no excuses. There's no excuses for this Juventus team to lose against Bruges or Benfica at this stage. There's no excuse. We need those 3 points in order to at least get in the top 8. I think we need to win and also have a little bit of luck on our side. We need Dortmund to lose, I think, and also a couple other teams to just lose or tie. So, like I said, if we win our games, and I think we will, like I said, all it takes is just a win streak for this Juventus to really start, getting into it. And I think it will happen because it happens every season with Juventus that I don't think we ever go a season without going on a big win streak. So it's going to happen eventually. So.
Yeah, no. I'm with you 1,000%. I was just reading the comments and I've just lost my track of thought of what I was about to say to you. I just found out about your channel. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you, man.
Big up, man. We support each other, man. Why not? Like, and if Juventus are losing, I might pop in and put some laughing faces in.
Hey, no.
Hey. And the thing is, as long as you get the fact that it's banter, you do the exact same thing to me. I'm fine with it. Like, obviously you're watching.
I've always gotten it. I've always gotten that. People coming into my chat like that are like an Inter fan or like a Napoli fan, just like laughing up. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Just focus on your team and don't worry. When you guys lose, I'll just rub it in a little bit. Just salt it up a little bit. But like I said, with other teams like Bayern. I even know what's that other I know Josh, Arsenal fan. Yeah. The other he's a PSG fan. I think it's Mo. Yeah.
PSG Inc.
Yeah. So no, like I said, I usually go on his stream sometimes, and sometimes I put like a little bit of salt, a little banter. It's so funny, but it's just the truth. Like if you also check out, the PSG, in my opinion, are going through the same thing you guys are going through as well. The management, the players as well, getting the right players, it's going through the same process. That's why I think right now, in terms of what we're looking at towards the future, Juventus is going to be one of the clubs to watch because we are building for that and we have the management now. All we need is like that person to get us over that finish line or that person to like lead us in that type of way. And what other person to do that would be Del Piero getting into the management, right? And that should be the case. But, Juventus haven't done that. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. So, but, 100%. I mean, like I said, I love supporting, your channel, man. I love always coming into the chat because it's always, like I said, every single time I'm either, driving to college, going somewhere like out to dinner someplace, and I have a little time. I see your streams going on. I'm like, click. I'm like, what's up, everybody? And it's always awesome. It's always awesome to hear from the community, especially your guys' chat. Love everybody in the chat today because it's like I said, big support. Always subscribe to the Bayern View, man. Because like I said, you got one of the biggest content creators in my opinion, for sure. And you're going to keep growing and keep doing what you're doing, man, because I love it. I love it. I love the content, like I said, and I'll do my best to help you as well achieve your goals. And I'll always do that. Always do that, man. 100%.
No, it means a lot, man. Thank you very much. And again, you got my contact. If you ever need me, you know where to message.
We'll do a lot more of these as well. We'll do probably post game for both teams. We'll do like we'll go from each one. My like for example. This weekend is Juventus against Monza, right? And then you guys are versus Leipzig. So if you want, we could do a big, thing. We could talk about both games, and I'll tell you what happened really in the Monza game, and then I'll tell you, and then you could tell me a little bit about the Leipzig game, which I will watch the Leipzig game, of course, because I want you guys to just beat them, man. I just hope you guys do, man. Oh man.
So do I. I just that Openda's just given.
Oh yeah, I know. He's like, I'm surprised that Juventus haven't even gotten like anything like going after Opanga. We were linked to him like right after that Leipzig game. I remember when we won, we were a little bit linked to him, but all of a sudden now it's just like we're
Gone
not even
away,
linked to him
yeah.
anymore. Yeah. So it's just like no, he would have been, like I said, if we end up getting Opanga somehow, he'll be an insane signing for sure, because he's just like the way that he is. He's built. He's very quick. He's also very skillful, and he can make that impact sort of. And I feel, like I said, for you guys in terms of versing Leipzig tomorrow, he's going to be the guy to watch that you guys need to close down, and that's
Yes.
going to be, for example, who's playing? I've forgotten your backline. I know Kim Min Jae will probably be playing.
So yeah, Kim Min Jae and Upper, but it's probably going to be Konrad Laimer, unfortunately, and he's the guy that was suspect against Gittens, the one that played, the young Englishman that plays for Dortmund. So yeah, that in itself is, like I said, I'm not even asleep yet, and I'm getting nightmares thinking about it. And I don't want to do an emergency stream tomorrow. I can't be bothered. But I know that if we get smashed, Z is going to be like,
"Oh no,
load it up,
load it up." That's it.
So yeah, let's just win. Let's win. To be fair, I want to watch the basketball tomorrow. Bayern Munich's basketball team. I'm not necessarily into basketball as a whole, but I seen that they've got it, and I was like, you know what? I've really, really, generally speaking, been enjoying watching the women. Obviously, I wouldn't have gone to the game yesterday if it wasn't for that. Obviously, I got back at 1:20 in the morning from London, which was, bro, I'm still tired now. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, like really enjoying watching the women. Not necessarily because they're women, but just in general because they're Bayern, and obviously I'm passionate about Bayern. So it's typical. The schedule's messed up where Bayern tomorrow play Leipzig at 7:30 UK time, where the basketball game starts at 8. So I wanted to stream it, but I'm not going to be able to because obviously the men's team's got to come first, of course. Because obviously, So I'm going to have it on in the background if I can find it. I've been Googling all day about it. Try and find out like what channels it's on and so on and so forth. So yeah, I want to try and start doing content around that. But yeah, man, similar to what you said, obviously I know you've only recently started. You're doing actually really well for starting 4 months ago. Generally speaking, the fact that you've got 500 subscribers is
almost 600 soon. Almost 600 soon.
100, bro.
Yeah, we're like so
100. Just
crazy.
I think the only thing I can say to you, I don't, number one, think you need the advice, but if you were to ask, I would generally say you just got to go. Just constantly go. You, at the end of the day, when you lose, you win, lose or draw, straight away with the reaction, straight away with
100%.
whatever you're doing. 100. Obviously, you know this, you're not dumb, but in general, like that's what it is, because people are feeding for that. Even the haters, like people coming in and laughing and so on and so forth.
I know. It just, like I said, the banter just comes right in, and it's like, oh, forget about it. But no, I 100% get it with you and what you're saying. And, thank you for the advice, because, of course, we need it, And like I said, sometimes, with my schedule, it's a little bit hard. But, but now, since I am off, like I said, the videos are going to be coming on. Like, for example, the new video that is going to be out probably tomorrow morning. My time will probably be the Tonali. Supposedly Sandro Tonali to Juventus. That's what the reports are saying. So that could be a nice one as well. Especially, I think we would have to sell Fagioli, if I'm not mistaken, or they're saying that we would have to sell Yildiz, which is like, that's a big no. So I'm gonna give my reaction. You guys are gonna see that, man. No, no, Liam. I knew you were like, I'll take him back.
I'll take him.
No. But no. I mean, no, I don't even think that Yildiz will leave because the management. Yeah, no. If the management does that, then, like I said, new management right away. That's it. Big reaction, big hate. And I'll be hating him. Oh, it would be so bad if we did that. But
no, I think you're moving in a good direction. I don't think you're going to take 10 steps back by selling one of your young stars. That would make no sense. That would make no sense. But yeah, just the community, man. Like, obviously being in, I don't know about you, but being in the UK, obviously you're not in the UK, but as a whole, like, there's really no one to speak to. Like, it's just Premier League, United fan, Chelsea fan, Arsenal fan. And obviously, I've met some good people on here that are Premier League fans and are, from the UK and so on, like Josh. But I don't care about the Premier League. I'll watch it, I'll laugh at it, so on. But I care about Bayern. Like, so starting this channel, getting the community that I've got, you know, I would never ever have spoken to Ahmed, Zia Talks, you'll know him as, if not, you know. So, you know, he come on one of the call-in shows I did, and now he's like one of my best friends, and he lives in Saudi Arabia. Like, I never thought in my wildest dreams, and this is nothing against Saudi Arabia, of course, but as a whole, like even in America,
you don't even know what to expect, right? Exactly. You know, and I love, like I said, I love it. You know, because it's like we get to see everybody from all around the world, just give our views on like what it is, and it's always awesome to, you know, like do this as well. You know, do it on my channel, especially, you know, doing on your channel, like getting invited on all these channels, because it's like, you know, wow, I'm kind of like in America, you know, kind of like that guy that's like a Juventus content creator that could be end up like getting a lot of subscribers one day and becoming like one of those top guys that go like to the Juventus, you know, fan club over there in Italy or something, you know. So that's why I'm like, wow, maybe I'll end up like one of those guys. You know, that'd be cool, you know. And not just that, but meeting you guys one day when I head to Europe as well, we'll probably meet up, do something. That'd be cool as well. You know, probably watch a game together or something. You know, that'll be awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, no, I mean, like I said, and I'm honored to be on the show in the Bayern View, because I've been watching you guys for a while now. You know, even before, a little bit before, I started to, you know, even before my channel, you know, watch Bayern news. You know, watch Arsenal. You know, watch you know, Juventus, stuff like that, you know, like other content creators in the Juventus community, you know, they inspired me to make my own. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do that, you know, and I just started doing it. And it's, like I said, it's been really a dream come true, you know. And like I said, thank you for having me on, of course, you know, the Bayern View show, you know, it's always awesome to do, you know, these, and also hear from different points of views and different clubs in general, what the history is like, you know, what it feels like to be a Bayern fan, for example, right? So like you're asking me what it feels like to be a Juventus fan. So I love doing that, you know, and like I said, we'll do more. We're gonna do a lot more content together, my friend Liam, because like I said, we're gonna be bros. I'm telling you.
No, man, like it's that thing though, isn't it? Like, for instance, if you were to say, I think such and such is better than Musiala, like, I'm not gonna start swearing at you, cussing out your mom, cussing out your dad, like. So there's too many keyboard warriors in this world. Like, there's way too many. Like, you go on Twitter and it's like,
I know, it's crazy.
Well, I hope you die. Like, shut up, man. let's talk football, yeah? Like, and again, you might think such and such player is better than such and such, but that's your opinion, you know? That's, again, one of the reasons I started it, you know? Now, don't get it twisted. You get people on here that I don't know if they want to troll or do this or do that, and they're like, you're negative. Okay, if you think I'm negative, then I'm not necessarily going to go at you. I could easily go at you, but at the same time, you're on my page. You know, you're spending your time. Like right now, I'm thankful because you are spending your night or an hour and 37 minutes of it speaking to me. You don't have to do this. You know what I mean? So it's one of those where you have to be respectful, but at the same time, just, and again, that's the whole point of the banter thing. You know, if Juventus lose, don't get it twisted. And I see it. I will come into your chat and laugh. And I hope you do the same.
Like I said, don't worry about it. You know,
no matter if you like Bayern or not, if we lose, come in and laugh at me, because it's that's the point. Like, I've got a good relationship with Will, the guy that was on Zia's show earlier, and I laugh at him all the time. Like, that's the point. Like,
but that's the beauty. That's the beauty of football, exactly. You know, and that's what it's supposed to be like. That, you know, it's like, you know, you get a little bit of that banter, you know. And it's, like I said, it's always perfect. You know, like I said, I don't take things personal. You know, I really don't. You know, you can say whatever you want to say, because I know that what I'm talking about, I have a lot of the facts I know, you know, because I know a lot about football, you know. And like I said, you know, it's basically my opinion. And it's like I said, if you can't back up your opinion, then to me, it's like, okay, it's not really relevant, you know. So that's why I'm like, you know, if you're going to say something, try to prove what you're really trying to say, you know. Don't just say, you know, oh, that this, that, you know, just like, come on, just explain what you really are feeling so we could talk about it and have a conversation like this, right? So it's like I said, you know, people that do that, sometimes I'm just like, why are you even just doing that? I know it's the banter, but I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
100,
but yeah, no, yeah,
100.
100%. And I see a couple other people in the chat as well.
Liam, would you
Um,
take me the Kovac over company? I believe Kovac 2 was for us, by the way. No, mate. No, like we've already stepped backwards. Let's not go further, please. That would if that's the case, just give Leroy Sané a lifetime contract. Like yeah, let's not do that. I beg, let's not do that. I do want to end though. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. I do want to end. It is 2:37 in the morning. Even though,
Oh yeah.
wait, hold up, 2:37 in the morning. You taking the piss? What time did I message you to do the show?
I'm not even sure. Wait, I think it was like has to be. Let me
Oh
see.
wow, it was nearly 1 o'clock. Okay, that
1
has
o'clock.
flown by. I was gonna say,
Wow.
I swear it wasn't like 2 in the morning. Damn. Okay, fair enough. Right, I want to do these quick fire questions for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When you're having fun, time goes. So yeah, hey ho.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Where's my phone? Okay. Right. So yeah, just to end, when we do one of these specials, I just want to do it this way. I like doing it, and I
Okay.
just want to get your opinion. So yeah, first answer, just go straight away. And
Okay.
I'm going to give you two options. You just got to pick between them. So first one, Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi?
Cristiano Ronaldo. That's obvious.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, of course.
Yeah.
Pizza or pasta?
Ooh. Pasta.
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 Okay.
Yep.
NBA or NFL?
NBA.
NBA. Dunking on them. DC or Marvel?
Ooh. I want to say Marvel.
Marvel.
But
Okay.
yeah, I want to say Marvel.
Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan.
MJ. Bayern or Juventus?
Juventus all the way. I'm sorry to say.
That was going to be the case. That was the trick question. World Cup or UCL?
Ooh, this is a hard one. You know, I'm gonna go with UCL. I'm gonna go with UCL.
FIFA or Call of Duty?
FIFA.
Candy or chocolate?
Ooh, chocolate.
Okay. Jamal Musiala or Jude Bellingham?
Jamal Musiala. I'm not a big Bellingham fan.
Mbappe or Vinicius Jr.?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Mbappe.
Yeah. And then we've got win the treble or go invincible.
You know, just because those Inter fans always blabber us with the treble, I'm going with treble.
100. I had a feeling you were going to say, because she said UCL as well. And then final one. This is a hard one, okay? Because it's two of your icons.
Yeah.
Buffon or Chiellini?
Oh, the funny thing is actually I met both of them. But oh man. Don't hate me, Chiellini, because I did have a problem with him getting my autograph at one point. I'm gonna have to go with Buffon. I'm gonna have to go with GG.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not an easy question. Not an easy question, but there we go. Again, thank you for coming on, bro.
Of course, bro.
Again, people, it's in the app. Let's not be fraudulent with it, yeah? No matter what. Like, we have a Barcelona fan in here. Ahmed, obviously, is one of Zia's friends, but and a close friend of mine as well. And he's a Real Madrid fan. So, yeah, big up to everyone.
Hey, yeah. Ahmed, yeah, for sure, man.
Time. Like, go over and subscribe. Again, it's all banter. We can all laugh. It is what it is. We can take a joke. Let's not be too serious with it and have fun. But yeah, big up to everybody. Who shall we raid? I don't know who's live. Let's have a look quickly. Redirect. Who is live? You know what? I'm going to not this Jester. He does gaming videos and he's an absolute G. So we'll go to him. But yeah, big up to everybody. Much Leanne, greatly appreciated. You will see Gio on the channel again. We could actually get each other in the Champions League, couldn't we? Still, so Maybe we do that and then go from there. We'll see who we get. But yeah, smash the likes, people. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the subscribe here. Go over, don't be fraudulent, and go and subscribe. We want to get this guy to a K. And then when he gets to a K, he can then redirect his viewers to me. Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry. I got you.
No. Big up. If you're ever live, by the way, and I do a live, I'll redirect you also. So
thanks, man.
That sounded way too bad. But yeah, Mia, peace out, people. Have a great night.
Ciao, everybody.